Hello everyone and welcome to Module 3 of Lesson 2. In the previous module, we covered the topic of identifying stakeholders. Today we are going to get into the topic of conducting feasibility studies. Conducting feasibility studies is a crucial step in the process of evaluating the viability of a proposed project or business venture. A well-executed feasibility study provides decision-makers with valuable insights into the potential challenges, risks, and opportunities associated with the project. Here are the key aspects typically considered. Technical feasibility. Technology assessment. Evaluate the technical requirements and capabilities needed to implement the project. Resource availability. Assess the availability of necessary resources such as skilled labor, equipment, materials, and technology. Technical risks. Identify potential technical challenges, constraints, or limitations that could impact project feasibility. Economic feasibility. Cost analysis. Estimate the costs associated with project development, including initial investment, operational expenses, and maintenance costs. Revenue projections. Forecast potential revenue streams and income generated by the project over its life cycle. Financial metrics. Calculate financial metrics such as ROI, NPV, IRR, and payback period to determine the project's financial viability. Market demand. Assess the market demand for the product or service and the potential for profitability. Legal and regulatory considerations. Compliance assessment. Identify and understand the legal and regulatory requirements applicable to the project, including permits, licenses, zoning regulations, and environmental laws. Risk of non-compliance. Assess the risks associated with regulatory non-compliance and the potential impact on project feasibility. Legal constraints. Evaluate any legal constraints or obligations that may affect project implementation, such as contracts, intellectual property rights, or liability issues. Operational feasibility. Operational processes. Evaluate the practicality and efficiency of proposed operational processes and workflows. Resource allocation. Assess the availability and allocation of resources, including personnel, facilities, and technology, to support project operations. Operational risks. Identify potential operational risks, bottlenecks, or challenges that could affect project implementation and ongoing operations. Scheduling factors. Project timeline. Develop a realistic project timeline and schedule, outlining key milestones and deliverables. Resource allocation. Allocate resources effectively to meet project deadlines and objectives. Critical path analysis. Identify the critical path and dependencies to ensure timely project completion. Contingency planning. Plan for potential delays or setbacks by incorporating contingency measures into the project schedule. Purpose of the feasibility study. Decision-making. The primary purpose of the feasibility study is to provide decision-makers with the information needed to make informed decisions about whether to proceed with the project, modify the project plan, or abandon the project altogether. Risk management. Assessing feasibility helps in identifying and mitigating risks associated with the project, thereby increasing the likelihood of its success. Resource allocation. Feasibility studies help in determining the optimal allocation of resources, including financial, human, and material resources, to maximize project outcomes. Stakeholder communication. The feasibility study serves as a communication tool for stakeholders, including investors, lenders, partners, and regulatory authorities, providing them with insights into the project's potential risks and rewards. By thoroughly evaluating these key aspects, stakeholders can gain a comprehensive understanding of the project's feasibility and make informed decisions regarding its implementation. Purpose of feasibility studies. Objectives. Assess project viability, technical and financial feasibility. Identify project alternatives, explore different approaches. Decision-making support. Provide information for informed decisions. Minimize project risks. Identify and mitigate potential risks. To sum up, the objectives of feasibility studies encapsulate key elements crucial for informed decision-making in the project initiation phase. Firstly, feasibility studies aim to assess project viability, encompassing both technical and financial feasibility, ensuring a thorough understanding of potential challenges and opportunities. They also serve to identify various project alternatives, facilitating exploration and evaluation of different approaches to achieving project objectives. Acting as a decision-making support tool, feasibility studies provide stakeholders with the necessary information to make informed choices about the project's future. Lastly, these studies play a crucial role in risk management, helping project managers identify and mitigate potential risks, thereby enhancing the overall likelihood of project success. Process of conducting feasibility studies. Steps: identify project objectives, define criteria for evaluation. Gather relevant data, collect technical, financial, legal, and operational information. Analyze technical feasibility, evaluate resource availability and potential challenges. Evaluate economic feasibility, assess financial viability and return on investment. Assess legal and regulatory requirements, identify permits, licenses, and compliance. Evaluate operational feasibility, analyze resource availability and potential challenges. Consider scheduling and timeline, assess critical path and dependencies. Identify risks and challenges, proactively address potential disruptions. Evaluate project alternatives, compare and select the most viable solution. Prepare feasibility study report, compile findings and recommendations. In conclusion, the process of conducting feasibility studies is a meticulously structured journey encompassing several key steps. It commences with a precise identification of project objectives, setting the criteria for evaluation. The subsequent phase involves the gathering of relevant data, spanning technical, financial, legal, and operational aspects. Technical feasibility assessment evaluates resource availability and potential challenges, while economic feasibility delves into financial viability and return on investment. Legal and regulatory requirements, operational feasibility, and considerations of scheduling and timeline are meticulously analyzed. Proactively addressing potential disruptions, evaluating project alternatives, and ultimately compiling findings into a comprehensive feasibility study report mark the culmination of this systematic process. By adhering to these steps, project managers can make informed decisions about the project's viability and ensure that all aspects are thoroughly assessed. A successful feasibility study requires research, which typically involves analyzing various key components to determine the feasibility of a project. Here are the key components of a feasibility study. Executive summary, brief overview, key findings, and recommendations. Introduction, background, purpose, and scope of the project. Technical feasibility, resource availability, technology, and challenges. Economic feasibility, financial viability, cost-benefit analysis, and projections. Legal and regulatory requirements, permits, licenses, and compliance. Operational feasibility, resource availability, infrastructure, and challenges. Scheduling and timeline, project milestones and critical path. Risk assessment, identification and mitigation strategies. Project alternatives, comparison and selection. Conclusion and recommendations, summary and decision-making support. To summarize, the key components of feasibility studies are essential elements that collectively contribute to a comprehensive assessment of a project's viability. Beginning with an executive summary providing a succinct overview, key findings, and recommendations, the components include an introduction outlining the project's background, purpose, and scope. Technical feasibility explores resource availability, technology, and potential challenges, while economic feasibility delves into financial viability, cost-benefit analysis, and projections. Legal and regulatory requirements, operational feasibility, and considerations of scheduling and timeline are meticulously examined. Risk assessment, evaluation of project alternatives, and a conclusion with recommendations provide stakeholders with a holistic understanding, aiding in decision-making and ensuring that the project is well-informed and strategically planned. Consequently, conducting a feasibility study is an important process that plays a critical role in the success of any proposed project or business venture. This comprehensive assessment provides decision-makers with valuable information and helps them gain a full understanding of the project's feasibility. By following best practices, stakeholders can navigate the complexities of feasibility assessments and pave the way for successful project delivery. Thank you for your time and I will see you in Module 4 of Lesson 2.